Hello, happy friends of Fox. How's everyone doing? How did everybody survive the winter blast that we had this past weekend? The second part, I think. It is finally above 32 degrees. I don't know how to act right now. Welcome to Cassie's Corner. I'm Cassie. Here we talk about tips and tricks and ways of defeating depressive thoughts and anxiety disorders and things of that nature. You have to kind of do it yourself. You kind of have to want it. But all I can do is just give you the tips and tricks that helped me, a severely depressed person at one time in a very, very dark state of mind, come out of it. I mean, it's not like it wasn't an overnight thing. We're talking about 10 or 15 years of suffering somewhat debilitating depressive thoughts. Things like, I'm ugly, I'm worthless, I don't need to be here, such as on this earth. If I was gone, everybody would be better off. I think that I thought if I hid in my room and nobody knew I existed, then everybody would be better off. And then I would think about my children. There was a time where I didn't remember my children very much, especially when my son was about 14. So that would make his sister 12, and then the sister after that. She was probably 6 or so, 7, something like that. So my children were very, very young still, and I acted out a little bit, kind of had some crazy behavior associated associated with my depressive thoughts and anxiety. Not a good, not a beautiful thought, not a beautiful look for anyone, and I do it in a way. That I'm going by this book called The Daily Stoic, and what this does is help reminded me, and it helped me a lot. This book helped me so much, but it helped reminded me that I have to react out of things that I can't control in my mind. Like I can't control what somebody else has said, or what they think, or how they feel about depressive people. And people would say things about certain things, and they didn't know that I was sick. Maybe my brother, maybe my aunts, maybe my sister, somebody like, they had no idea how, depressed I may have been, or I may have, how sad my mind may have made me be. And they would say things, and I would use that as a trigger to go off on them, or to have a bad attitude, or to create drama, so to speak, for, I would, in a bad way. And that's not the way to be. You can control how you think and how you behave and how you react to everybody. Not everybody's out to get you. Not everything is made to be have a response. Not everything is made to be drama induced. People don't even know you're sick. Like I said, my brother, my sister, my mom, my own mother, maybe they didn't know how sick I may have been. Even though I told them, that I was suffering from depression or whatever, it just did not faze them. When they saw my face daily, they still see, the 12, 13, 14-year-old kid that would go around the house, singing and laughing and cutting up and things like that. And now that I was married and grown and I had my own thoughts, and I would try to hide my illness from others, they didn't see what I was trying to tell them, because they still saw me as a kid. So I had to learn not to let so many things get to me, and that is hard, especially when you are depressed, because you're thinking that everybody is pointing at you and laughing. And they're not. They're really not. They're not. They don't even know. They don't realize how sad you are. So, I'm using the book, The Daily Stoic, by Ryan Holiday. It's also written by somebody else. I'll show it to you right fast. I used to show it every day, but I got out of that. But if you want to get this book and read it on your own, that's awesome. It is a journal-like book. Ryan Holiday and Stephen Henselman. It is a journal-like book. So now we're on February 2nd, but it's day 33 of the year that we're doing in a proper frame of mind. is what we're reading today. Let me get this situated. Frame your thoughts like this. You are an old person. You won't let yourself be enslaved by this any longer. No longer pulled like a puppet by every impulse, and you'll stop complaining about your present fortune or dreading the future. And Marcus Aurelius said that in his Meditations. I also learned a couple of days ago before I got sick, and he also wrote another bunch of works. It was titled something I could not pronounce, so I was kind of glad that I didn't have to butcher that up. So there was more than just one book that he wrote, or more than one list of things for him to remember. Remember, Marcus Aurelius is writing things for himself to remember about how to behave and how to control your thoughts and things of that nature. And these are ancient Roman and Greek emperors. They use this on the battlefield, this type of theory on the battlefield to have peace and not have enemies with any other people, even if there is some kind of they know they're at war, even if there's still some kind of team 1 and team 2, they're having to be against each other like in war or whatever. They're not trying to make it personal. They're trying to, okay, I'm fighting a battle to maybe like have our taxes lowered or whatever, but I can't use this war to dismantle somebody else's personality, or just, I can't cause them to be disgraceful because I'm just doing it for taxes. So I'm not going to cause their reputation to be out of whack or anything like that. I'm just going in, I'm doing my job, and I'm being as peaceful as I can be for myself and for my opponent. So this is, because they worked on their mind, how they control their mind, how they control their thought. We resent the person who comes in and tries to boss us around. Don't tell me how to dress, how to think, how to do my job, how to live. This is because we're independent, self-sufficient people. Or at least that's what we tell ourselves. Yes. Yet if someone says something we disagree with, something inside us tells us we have to argue with them. Dun dun dun. Okay. If there's a plate of cookies in front of us, we have to eat them. Dun dun dun. Most likely. If someone does something we dislike, we have to get mad about it. When something bad happens, we have to be sad or depressed or worried. But if something good happens, a few minutes later, all of a sudden we're happy, excited, and want more. We would never let another person jerk us around the way we let our impulses. I never thought of it that way. Did you? Okay. It's time we start seeing it this way. That we're not puppets that can be made to dance this way or that way just because we feel like it. We should be the ones in control. That's what I just said. Not our emotions, because we are independent, self-sufficient people. So it's kind of directing you at this moment on this page, a proper frame of mind, that you should be able to control your thoughts. You should be able to control your emotions. And he is questioning, why am I letting, okay, I'm having this happen to me, I'm having this happen to me, and I'm having this happen to me. But it's like I'm letting my brain react to these certain things, but I'm not letting people tell me what to do. Why am I letting daily situations tell me what to do? Why am I letting a bad moment tell me what to do? Why am I letting an unfortunate event tell me how to behave towards somebody when I'm not going to let this person next to me tell me how to dress? I mean, think about it. I didn't think of this before. I had no idea. But it's true. Why are you letting daily events, something that is way out of your control? Okay, say you're running down the road and driving, somebody hits you, and you're letting that, which it is kind of like a really bad thing to be in a car accident, but I'm not talking about flipping the car or anything. I'm just talking about a fender bender or whatever. Well, now you got to have your car towed and all this kind of stuff. And I agree. I've been in car accidents. Trust me, I've been in so many car accidents. It's not funny. All of them are of my own fault. There was a time where I didn't sleep. It's a long story. It's a long, long story. Um, and I let those car crashes rule my day. It was the worst day of my life. It was really terrifying to deal with me after a car. Oh my God, I've got a car accident. When it's just a fender bender, it can easily be fixed. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to rent a car. Yeah, but the insurance is gonna have to have me rent a car. I'm gonna have to, there's some times I'm gonna have to wait. But these things happen. That's why they're called accidents. Am I making sense? Okay. Say we go in the store. We're walking, grocery store, whatever kind of store you want to imagine. Somebody bumps into you. Either by it being too busy or they're going too fast or you're going too fast, something like that. They stop and apologize and move on. And you're just worried about that person bumping into you all day long. It has made your whole day. But you wouldn't let that person tell you how to look, wouldn't tell you how to dress. You wouldn't let that person tell you what to do. But you've let that person in your head because they bumped into you. I hope I'm making sense. Don't do it. Do not feed into the emotions that come with daily events, because they're going to happen. Whether or not they're with you or somebody else, they're just going to happen. Accidents are going to happen. Things are going to happen. I'm going to get in my car sometimes and it's not going to start for whatever reason. Recently, we just had my car put in the shop. Don't want to talk about the price of that, but animals, for whatever reason, whoever they may be, chipmunks, whatever out there. We live out in an area where there's not many people out here. It's like woods and a reservoir over this way. And, so animals are abound. Raccoons, chipmunks, rabbits, anything is out in the yard. But they ate up the wires under my car. So I was without my car for 2 weeks. I had to rent a car. And it was very pricey. It's been a very pricey type of situation. But did I let it get to me? No, because it's going to happen. I'm out in the middle of the woods. I didn't think about the animals coming up to my car trying to chew up my wires. You just don't prepare for that kind of thing. You don't think about it until it happens to you. Those things happen. Accidents happen. Things happen. I'm gonna one day go out to my car maybe for whatever reason and my battery will not start. It's gonna happen. It's not like I'm wishing it to. I'm not sitting here thinking, I wonder if I go out and crank my car, is my battery going to start? But I know eventually, one day I'm going to go out there and I'm not going to have any gas, or I'm not going to have a battery. Something's going to happen. And I have to prepare my mind mentally for it as it happens, because I cannot let it ruin the rest of my day. I could see my son that day. I could see my grandchildren that day. I can't let that one thing override all the joy that I have for the rest of the day. That wouldn't make any sense. But that is what we're doing. That is exactly what I have been doing. I had been letting everything that happened to me that was bad ruin the good things in my day. And it really should not be that way. It really shouldn't be that way. So we need to control how we think. We need to worry about what we can control. We need to worry about how we behave towards certain elements. Things are going to happen. Somebody's going to bump into you. I keep hitting my microphone, so if you hear it, I'm really, really sorry. Maybe it's too close. Go out there. Okay. Behave yourself. Stop acting like a brat. Okay. Just remember, things are going to happen. People are going to bump into you. Something's going to happen. I'm not saying go outside and just invent a car accident or hopefully, in my mind, everybody has a perfect day. Everybody has a lovely day and they find joy in everything. But sadly, that is not how life goes. Things are going to happen. And when they do, we have to have the perfect mindset things like this are going to happen. We're going to get a traffic ticket, especially if we're not paying attention when we're like speeding down the road and listening to the radio. And we're in the best. I actually got out a ticket when I'm not trying to give anybody any hints this way, but I did get out of a ticket that way. I was like, and I was just as honest as I could be. He was like, do you know why I pulled you over? I'm like, yeah, speeding. He was like, can you tell me why you're speeding? I said, I really can't tell you. I was just in a good mood and not thinking about what I was driving. I don't know. I kind of got out of the ticket. No clues. Don't try that. It's not always going to work. But the guy was very merciful and he didn't give me a ticket. So I was in a good mood for once. At least I owned up to it. I had no idea. I don't know. So we're controlling our minds. We're controlling how we behave. We're controlling how we think. We're controlling our behavior in a bad situation, so we don't take it with us to ruin all the rest of our days. So that's what we're doing, and we're learning that about the Daily Stoic. And that's how I'm reading to you. That's what I'm reading to you. But if you would, please like and subscribe. You love my content. I would love it if you would subscribe, if you would leave me comments, and like, yeah, it's 1:00. Leave me comments, as all those helps YouTube recommend my videos to other people. Maybe I will reach more people who are depressed. Maybe I can help others to come out of their depression. But again, you've got to want it yourself. It's not like I can tell you how to behave and then you do it, and the first couple of times you try it, it's not going to work. It just has to be a mindset. You have to want it. You have to want to think differently, because right now you're comfortable in that sad mindset. You've been there for so long that you're just comfortable. It takes a lot of trial and error to get into a positive way of thinking. I feel like your comments are made for me, but unfortunately, YouTube does have rules, and if I have interaction, viewer interaction with things like that, they put you in the popular spot, and they kind of recommend your videos a little bit more. So that way I reach more people, and I would love your support, and that way I would appreciate it very much. It means a lot to me. I didn't think I had anything to share here on YouTube. Everybody's like, start a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel. I'm just not sure I have anything to say. And for me to show my face, it is really amazing for me to even show my face, because that was not going to happen 5 years ago. It was not going to happen 10 years ago. It definitely wasn't going to happen 15 years ago. You were not going to see my face. And I know a lot of people do the faceless type YouTube thing, and that's the thing, but I feel like if you're gonna hear some good news, and you're gonna know that depression does not have to last forever in your brain, then you probably need to see somebody's eyes, and you need to see somebody who has been through it. I promise you, I've been through every nasty, dirty, dark thought that has ever crossed a depressive mind. I've been there. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to feel useless. I know what it's like to feel invisible. I know what it's like to feel not wanted. I know what it's like to feel not appreciated. I do. I absolutely do. I don't like it. It's not a good feeling. But my problem was I dwelled in the thought of feeling unwanted. I dwelled in the thought of feeling unloved and unappreciated. I dwelled in there, and when the doctor was like, well, you were depressed, I also dwelled in that label. When the doctor told me I was depressed, I was like, I'm depressed. Oh my gosh, I'm depressed. I really dwelled in that label, and you cannot do that. Your label is not who you are. You are not your label. You are you. You are the same you were before you had that label. How you deal with that news shows who you are. I hope I'm making myself clear. You cannot let your label define you. You may be depressed, but the best thing is to just, and I'm not saying just get over it. It's not that easy. It took me 10 years. I'm telling you, it's not that easy. I know. I know. For somebody to tell me, just get over it. It would drive me insane. Think differently. What have I got? A switch on my brain? No, I don't. If I could just think differently, I would. This crap sucks, you know? But it takes training. Okay? Your mind, you have gone through some kind of trauma to make you feel like you are constantly sad. And I'm not saying you are not constantly sad. Maybe you are. There's the defining problem right there. If you are, go back to where you were when you were not in a constant sad state of mind. And think about how you thought. What were you thinking? You weren't. You weren't letting that label define you. You weren't letting the sadness control you. We're not letting someone tell us how to do. We're not letting emotions tell us what to do. We're not going to let our emotions control us. We're not. It's not fair. We have to control our emotions. I hope you find that great big belly laugh. I hope you find someone to appreciate and tell them, say it out loud. I enjoy the way you have dressed today. I do. Don't let it be just false. I enjoy that shirt on you. That is a good color on you. I love your hair. Say it. Because once that kindness starts, it becomes addictive. And you're going to want to say it more. But eventually, you're going to learn to tell it to yourself. I love. Start with affirmations if you have to, but start with what is true. I am a mom. I am a wife. I have duties. I have responsibilities. I am trusted with a lot of information. I am responsible for feeding these people. And then it gets into I am doing a good job. I am participating in daily events. It goes on and on and on, but once it's true and it's said out loud, it replaces all the negative thoughts that you thought before. Because the things that you thought before were somebody else telling you. I remember I would say things to myself and I would be like, oh, that's my mom's voice. And it struck me right then and there that if I did not say my affirmations, my mom's voice was going to control me. It could have been something as silly as, oh, Cassie, you're stupid. Well, that was just retarded. Well, what a dingbat. You know, it was, but I was being critical of myself. And it came out I heard my mom's voice. Even though I thought it, I heard my mom's voice say it. And that is when I thought, these affirmations, these people are not lying about these affirmations. What I say is true. And I have to say it out loud. It has to begin with the truth, but so that you know to believe it. Okay? And if you say it over and over and over again, it gets easier. It gets so much easier. But start with an act of kindness. Start with kindness. Because once you're kind to somebody else, it is very, very addicting. Trust me, I know. And I want you all to feel much, much better. Especially, Mondays can be such a sad day sometimes. Mondays never bothered me unless I was going to school. Mondays were horrible at school. I had a horrible Monday. But at work, I loved Mondays. I have no idea why. Find somebody you appreciate them. Remember to say it out loud. Tell them. Make sure you tell them. Even honestly. Your maid, your maintenance guy worker, your anybody. I appreciate blah, blah, blah. Make sure it's a true statement. Because, one, people know when you're snowing them. Okay? If you don't think we do, we do. We do. That's bad. All these false compliments everybody gives that drives me insane. You can tell when somebody's just doing it to start a conversation, or when you just tell. It has to be a very truthful compliment, or else it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay? Find that great big belly laugh. Find somebody you appreciate. Learn something today. Learn something. Learn to live with joy. Learn to live with happiness. Learn to live with smiling. Smile. Laughter is the best medicine for everybody involved. I promise you. And I will see y'all tomorrow. I hope. No, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Y'all have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye bye.